thank all of you for coming tonight, and Doc, thank you. We had the opportunity to meet several months ago, and at one of Scott Kerr's meetings, and it's been a pleasure. We had the opportunity to come here back 4th of July, and thanks for your hospitality.
I'm grateful you could come.
Thank you, sir. I am from Chowan County, and I reckon Carolyn and I might be the oldest two people that live in Chowan County. I don't know. I'm kidding, of course. We don't.
I think it's close to it.
We did have this situation come up just a couple of weeks ago. We were chatting. Well, people would ask us questions all the time about the community, what was here, what was there, and all this kind of stuff. And Carolyn said, who can we go ask? And I said, well, what about so-and-so? Well, she died. What about, you know who? I told her, Eugene Jordan. Some of you might even know him. He was a dear friend and lived to be 94. When he died, he was sort of the last really old timer. And all of a sudden, Jerry and I, we're the old timers. I mean, we tell them stories and people don't even believe what we tell them, but it's the truth. We came here tonight to talk about people running for office, to have the opportunity to come together and fellowship and get to know one another is the main thing. And I think that is definitely happening. But when people offer themselves for service, and we have to remember that, that's what they are doing, offering themselves for service. And if they don't serve, you know what? It's up to us to kick their butt out. Isn't that right, Bill?
Yes, it is.
And that's what happens in a lot of times. And our loyalty is to the people that who have sent us to whatever office we hold. Our loyalty is to them and for the way that we can make life better for them. And tonight we have 4 people with us that are seeking one of these offices. It's just two offices that are going to be represented or candidates presented for tonight. One is the state senate, and that is District 1, isn't it?
Yes.
And then for the House, we got the 2 different districts. I don't even know the District 2, District 1,
5.
District 5. So what we'll do, if you guys don't mind, we'll follow this order. We will start with the higher office at the state legislature, which is the Senate. And then we'll start with the older of the candidates, and that's no disrespect to them, that will serve at each office. So we'll have the judge, Mr. Lane, Bill Ward, and John Spruill. So at this time, I would not going to say anything too much because I don't really know that much. All I know is about Judge Jerry Tillett is that my mama told me one time that he is a good guy. And I really like him. And it just so happened that my mama was clerk of court in Chowan County, and it was very important that she did like him. And there's no question about it. I found out what she said to be true. So at this time, I would recognize Judge Jerry Tillett. He is a retired Superior Court judge and a candidate for the North Carolina Senate. Judge Tillett.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for putting this on and offering the hospitality of your beautiful home, Doctor, and everybody who's had a part in this. This is a wonderful tradition that dates back to 1621. I want to, many of you I already know. I just want to tell you that for those of you who do not know me, I'm Jerry Tillett, lifetime resident of this district. My wife's parents are from Currituck and Gates, and my parents are from Dare County, and my mother hails from further south down in the Romanthe, Hatteras area. I will tell you that simple thing about me is I'm a conservative, I'm a Christian, I've been involved in public service and a businessman all of my professional life, that is since graduating college. Before that, I won't say all of my working life because I started working when I was 12. That's how I was able to get my first car. I want to ask you for your support, and that, of course, includes your prayers and your concerns, your issues, and any constructive criticisms. And I was told first time I spoke, well, you didn't really ask them for your vote, so I'm asking for your vote. I will tell you that I'm only wanting to listen to your voice. I think that together we can be the right voice for the right time. I will say that motto that's so precious to us all, esse quam videre, to be rather than to seem, has as a major component part. It's not what you say, it's what you do. And the best predictor of future performance is past action. I will tell you that I'm going to invite you. I will tell you first that I'm not going to talk long on account of my throat. My wife has told me that if I talk more than a few minutes, she's going to cut it. So I'm going to invite you to my website, tillettforsenate.com. We have and are going to be in the coming weeks offering some specific plans for each of the different areas of this big district, and it's a broad and vast district. 10 counties. There are certain core principles and issues, but they have a different application in different parts. For example, even if you talk about insurance, or even if you talk about affordability, that takes on a different application, whether it's in Dare or whether it's in Pasquotank. I want to tell you that your past service and your values are evidence of your commitment, your capacity to serve. I will tell you that the catalyst for me, first having said no several times, was after I witnessed not only the lawfare and the intimidation and the attempt to silence a voice, a conservative voice, a Christian voice, and but the last straw, the catalyst, was when they assassinated Charlie Kirk. So I'm reminded of the story of the biblical heroine who was urged to go and advocate for her people, Queen Esther, and she was reluctant because it could have severe consequences, and it was uncomfortable. It may cost her her life. But her cousin, the prophet Mordecai, reminded her, this may be the reason that you were put in that position. And if you remain silent at a time like this, then you and your family will perish. So at a time like this, I'm asking to be your voice, the right voice at the right time.
Thank you, Jerry. At this time, we would introduce a young man that, to be perfectly honest with you, most of us probably never even heard of him until about a month ago. So he's got quite a job on his hands, and that is to make people know who he is. I did see his name and I saw Gates County. It made me think of one thing, Tony. I have a lot of relatives and friends in the Gates area and all over Gates County, really. And when I go up to Gates, and I go, as a matter of fact, Mike Hollowell is the one that runs the red and white store. His daddy was my first cousin. But anyway, I passed Lane Angus Farm. And I used to be in a cattle association and went to school. And I ain't running for office now, I'm just telling you. But anyway, we would, in the newsletter they sent out, a paper they sent out every month, you'd see a big ad from Lane Angus Farm. And they used to, I'd drive by and look at that place on the left-hand side when you go into Gates, and all those pretty cattle out there, and they're always sort of fascinated me. I don't know if you grew up helping raise those cattle, but if you did, that would have helped you. I'm telling you, to be able to say, hey man, I helped the Lane family produce those Angus cattle. So at this time, I don't really know where you live or where you're from. So tell us that when you get elected. We would recognize Jay Lane, who is also a candidate for the Senate in District 1.
I'm used to being an unfamiliar face, so, but I grew up in Gates County, taking care of cattle, and that does help you develop a certain sense of patience, you know, working livestock. So, I've always told stories of watching my granddad, you know, have this nice trailer and this nice corral and these nice, really expensive cattle that you don't want to hurt, and then them start to not cooperate, and then him beating the tar out of them to get them onto the trailer, and then turn around to all of us after all that show and say, it really does take a lot of patience to raise these animals. But I grew up in Gates County, went to school in Hertford County, bought my first house in Camden County, and now my wife and I farm together in Camden, Pasquotank, Quinlan's, and Curry. I'm deeply invested in this district, deeply invested in my family and my business, and I want the best for it moving forward, and that's what led to me running for office. I went to the General Assembly several times for farm issues only, just farm stuff, and you know, that was really my only concern, was how my family was going to turn out, and you know, our future on the farm and the land itself and the heritage that's there. It means the world to me. I didn't get to farm with my father. I want to be able to farm with my son. That is as simple as I can put it, and that is as complicated as I can put it. That is the truth. I got a phone call saying that Senator Hanning was going to run for Congress, and got really excited until they suggested that I run for Senate. And I think it'll be a good fit. I quickly formed really good relationships with folks in Raleigh, and I will say that I'm brand new to these events. I'm brand new to really all of this, and I can pretty confidently look around this room and assume, hopefully correctly, that we all essentially want the same things on policy, school choice, balanced budget. We all fear God. You know, we're all very similar. The only difference, especially in a primary, is going to be the candidate. And what I have noticed is the candidate's ability to work with folks in Raleigh or work against folks in Raleigh. Gotten a lot of support from leadership, a lot of endorsements, and then a lot of, you know, iffy feedback from constituents because of certain things that the caucus has done or the General Assembly as a whole has done, and I understand that. And I think it's essential for us to be able to disagree as a party, but then come together and move forward and keep conservatives in power, because we know how aggressive Democrats are, and we know how they can work their way into party events or the party itself. And we see it all over the country, and I can go on and on and on, but it's essential that we send someone to Raleigh that can work with these people, but also be a voice for the folks at home, because ultimately they are the ones who send us there to Raleigh. So that's the most important thing, is can we disagree on an issue and still, as a whole, move the conservative movement in the correct direction and keep it going and stay in power and hopefully have a supermajority so that it doesn't matter what the electorate sends to Raleigh in terms of governor and AG. Our conservative voice is louder than all of those. And I think ultimately that's what everybody in this room wants. I know that I do. One issue in particular that has come up due to my endorsements is the trawl ban in the coast. Again, I got into this business to protect my way of life from oversight and legislation that would negatively affect the way we live We as in District 1, we the farmers, the fishermen, the loggers. And I got to thinking and I laughed, I'm a big Donald Trump fan. And all I'll have to say is the reason that I'm running is to protect our livelihoods and the way we live and our heritage. Farming, fishing, logging. Fishing's a big one because they've been under attack, and I feel it because I've lived it. We're not over-regulated like the fisheries are. We're getting there, and that's my concern. But my favorite president coined the term drill, baby, drill. So I'm going to coin the term trawl, baby, trawl. Y'all have a happy Thanksgiving, and thank you so much for having me tonight. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I hope we can reach a point in time, and sitting here listening, and this really brings it home, Tony. It would be great if after we get past all the celebrations and the holidays, and I realize the primary is coming real soon, is to have a debate. Man, wouldn't that be nice? John, you can deal with that, couldn't you? Absolutely, it would be nice. I'm always cutting up and I'll say crazy things and I'll just jokingly say this. Jay, I hope, are you raised watermelon?
No, sir.
You get my drift?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Bill Ward gets it.
Yep.
Maybe nobody else in it. Anyway, we now move to the House seat. We have two candidates that are not running against one another. They're running in different districts. One is a man that I remember him as walking down Elizabeth City streets with a gun on his side, being a deputy sheriff. Did he ever send anybody to your court?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did? Oh, Lord, have mercy. But he has really come forth, and I know it's all because of you. We would like to recognize everybody's friend, Bill Ward, who's running for the House. And what district is it now?
District 5.
District 5.
Thank you Tim, thank you for having us in your beautiful home. We really appreciate this. Christina, thank you for the invitation to come speak to the PAC. And everyone's here, we really appreciate you being here to listen to what we plan to do as we go forth in this campaign. Now, I do have to say, excuse me, I had the opportunity, I have known Jerry Tillett since he was a defense attorney. That's been 100 years ago. I knew his dad, Willett Tillett, so what does that tell you? And I did have the opportunity to meet Jay tonight. Seems like a very nice young man. I think it's going to be an interesting race, and I agree with you. It'd be great to have a debate so that we as candidates can come together and give their ideas of what they see for the future of the district, District 4. I am in District 5, which covers Camden, Pasquotank, Gates, and Hertford County. So there are some of you here that can vote for me. I'm still going to ask for everyone that can to vote for me as we go into run for the third term. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself if you don't know me. First of all, I'm a Christian. Second of all, I'm a conservative. And third, I'm a Republican. And that's the way I live my life. Now, I've always felt that my conservative values are very important, and we've tried to portray that in the legislature over the last 2 terms we've been there. We've done a lot. We've done a lot to advance conservative values and conservative motion in the House of Representatives. We have actually passed some bills that were the Democrats found very controversial. They did not like what the majority that we had in the House. They did not like the fact that we were passing conservative bills, and they fought it tooth and nail. And we've seen them do things in the legislature as well as within the communities as they go out that are important to us and our values. And we continue to work to fight against that. We saw one of our Democratic representatives go to a No Kings parade and post pictures of a projected head of Donald Trump. We've seen that. We've seen one of the Democratic representatives stand on the floor and talk about immigration, about how we just cannot sit. We've got to keep our borders open. We've got to keep these immigrants coming in. And unfortunately, we realize especially now as all the information is coming out, we're realizing that there are states that are allowing illegal immigrants to vote in our elections. And they're just canceling out your votes. Well, we're going to continue to work in the House to try and stem that. We've passed bills in the state legislature that have gone to the Senate, been passed in the Senate, gone to the governor, been vetoed. And of course, we were able to come back and do veto overrides that were good bills. Now, as you all know, we don't have a budget right now. This session, the Senate had the opportunity to write the budget for the first time. Right, they were the first to write the budget, then we came back in the House and wrote our budget. I gotta say I'm a little bit biased. I think our House budget was a lot better, but we just can't seem to get our conferees are working daily trying to get this budget passed. And unfortunately, we're not seeing compromise coming from the Senate. We're willing to compromise to a certain extent. They just don't want to compromise on what they've got in their budget. We're going to continue to work hard at that. We do not, in the legislature this year, we lost our supermajority in the State House. We do have a majority, but we lost our supermajority. We've got some races coming up. We've got some very good candidates that are coming up to run. And our hope is to win back the supermajority so that we can actually stop Stein in his tracks. Stein is about one of the worst governors we've ever had. That man is a stone liberal. He's a far leftist, and I will tell you right now, he's worse than our former Governor Cooper. And we have to do something to stop him. That means we have to get out and work. I have to work. Whoever wins the Senate race has to work. But more importantly, you have to work. You have to get out and spread the word about our conservative values. You're the ones that are going to put us in office. You're the ones that we're going to answer to, and we're going to continue to work towards that. So I'm going to do what Judge Tillett did. I'm going to ask you for your vote if you live in District 5. And hopefully, if you know people, if you don't live in District 5, you know people here, please spread the word so that we can keep our majority and hopefully attain our supermajority. So thank you very much.
Well, we are down to our last speaker, a man running for the State House in District 1, right? Now this man, and I'm gonna be honest with you, if you look real close, you can see my sticker. I'm working my butt off for him, and he's gonna be a great representative. I'm campaigning a little bit for him, Tony. But you know, one of the great things about it is bringing us and giving us all the opportunity to meet people that we didn't know. I know you about everybody in the whole district anyway, but I'm getting to meet a few that have just moved in. You know how that goes. Don't take these serious, Bill. But Carolyn, we do know a lot. We're so old, we met them all one time or another. It's my pleasure to introduce a good friend of mine, and I can say that, I can't say it about you, Jay, because I don't know you, but I can about Bill and about John and about Joe. Friends of mine, and we're all friends, and Bill touched on that. We have to remember that. We all are here for the same reason. I will say that this young man is going to be probably the most effective representative we could possibly ever have, because he has got more between the ears than anybody I thought I was smart. But maybe I found out right quick I didn't know nothing. John is sharp, he can figure something out and analyze it, and I'm campaigning for you. But let's hear from John. John Spruill, candidate for the State House.
Well, Joe laid it on pretty thick here, so I got a lot to live up to. Thank you, sir, for opening your house.
You're very welcome.
I appreciate the opportunity to come here and be able to speak to everyone tonight. Joe, we're going to have to talk about the speaking order from now on, because now everybody's 4 times hungrier than they were on the first And I just want to say, before he came in here, I told my wife, I said, look, The last event we went to, when it was all said and done, I looked at my phone, she was recording, and I looked at the time down there, I said, good grief, it was 45 minutes. So is everybody ready for a 45-minute talk? I'm just kidding. I told her she had to give me signals over there if I went too long. So, because I know everybody's wanting to eat, but I appreciate all the other candidates speaking tonight. I think unity is a good thing. I think though that, you know, primaries are a necessary evil. You know, when you see a need, I see a need for Eastern North Carolina, and I want to step up and serve, and that's what I want to do. And again, the first thing I want to ask for is your vote, those of you that can vote for me. The next thing I want to do is, and this is real simple, those of you that are on Facebook or social media or whatever, if you will go to my Facebook page, it was just posted today, it's a new TV ad that we're running. If you don't mind going on there and liking it and sharing it, I would greatly appreciate that. The more that gets shared, the more that message gets out to folks that I care about Eastern North Carolina, that I care about your families, that I care about the farmers, that I care about the folks that are working the waters, the commercial fishermen, that we share common values in our family beliefs and in God. If you'll get on there and if you'll share that, the more that gets out, the more that'll help me be able to get voters to know who John Spruill is. And that's what I really need. I need for everyone in Eastern North Carolina to know who John Spruill is, and that I want to go to Raleigh, not for me, but for all of us that are here. I'm not wanting to go to Raleigh because John Spruill wants to go to Raleigh. I want to go to Raleigh because everyone wants a voice in Raleigh, and that's what I want to be. Folks, we have something that we got to work hard against. If you look at the people that turn out for primary voters, in the bill, how many voters do you represent? 87,000, something like that in each district?
Yes.
Now, not all of those are Republicans, unfortunately, but in District 1, that race is decided usually by about 6,000 people. 6,000 people turn out in primary votes. You know what the old saying is, elections have consequences, right? So I'm going to tell you about a real sad election consequence. In the town of Plymouth, only about 38% of the people turned out for the primary, for the municipal election. Now those are notoriously even lower turnouts than say, a district-wide race, right? Well, the city council over there just voted to evict now the food pantry. They evicted the food pantry. I don't know how many of you saw that article or whatever, but they kicked the folks out that have been running that pantry, and my wife and I have volunteered there and handed out food to needing people. Now the one thing that's ironic about it is the next week, the hospital there, they set up a food pantry for like a day or whatever and handed out food. But you know who was in the line? One of the city council people and she was right on WI-10. I got my turkey. And she voted to close the food pantry in Plymouth. Folks, that's what we're working against here in Eastern North Carolina. We need to work hard to get good folks elected, to send to Raleigh, so we can work against people like that who are just, I think, evil in their heart. I mean, just evil, pure evil, and it's what we're fighting against. Spruill for emceehouse.com. I need your help sharing the Facebook post. Go there, sign up to help, to volunteer, put out signs this coming Monday at 12 noon. I will be registering to run, as I'm sure many of the other candidates are in here. And we'll see what happens on December the 19th at 12 noon. We'll see who we're working against. And good luck to all the other candidates, and happy Thanksgiving. I appreciate the opportunities and all the help that anybody can give. Thank you so much.